All righty. What is up, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me all right. I'm running around like a crazy man. Sorry, just went out and got a Christmas tree, had dinner, and then I started going through all of these protest images, trying to see if I can find this guy. We'll look at some of those in a minute. Either way, I want to welcome everybody back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. We are broadcasting to the world live from Phoenix, Arizona. Now we have a crazy case today. I've dubbed this the New York Assassin. I think we can all agree that this was a planned attack. Whether we're dealing with a disgruntled individual, serial killer, whatever. Right now, it's definitely looking like a disgruntled individual. Welcome in D. Ashley. Tamara, I didn't have a chance to welcome you to the Sleuth Crew earlier during the interview with Drew Collins. So welcome. Appreciate you. Wanda, shout out to Missouri. Jill Moser, what's up? Luis, good to see you. Copper Horse, how you doing, Patty? How you doing? What's up, Frank Meister? The Red Queen. Hope you're having a great day. CJK. D Mart's in the building. Jerry. All right, guys, let's hear it. What do you guys have to say about this? I mean, this is breaking. It seems like every few hours there's new information here. Good to see you, She Warrior. It's about 6 o'clock here. We usually eat anywhere between 6 and 7. What's up, 12 Cats? Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I think with the new photos released that somebody will recognize him. Yeah, let's pull up the new photos. He seems very feminine. I have pretty good gaydar, and I'm picking up a little bit of gayness from this guy, but I could be wrong. You know, he kind of has like that. I'm getting those vibes. So I'm not sure. Maybe he's a protester, an advocate, perhaps. Or maybe he just has a really, really good smile and he's just a pretty guy. You know, we can't all be beautiful. So we're definitely looking for a guy with a very noticeable smile. Hey, what's up, Julia? Good to see you. But let me know if you guys are picking up on the same vibes. I feel like we're looking at a very well-kept, manicured man. Julia says, "I thought he was a she." Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we're looking for a feminine man. Julia says, "Yep." He was staying at a hostel, so maybe his belongings. They're looking for DNA in the hostel right now. Hey, what's up, Hiawatha? V Marie, Kiwi, Elizabeth 316. When I saw the photo, I thought female shooter. That was my original thought. And then the way the individual walked, I was like, no, that's a man. So it might just be a feminine man. What's up, Dark Side? Joe Newman, welcome in. Squeaky Will, skinny liberal soy boy with bushy eyebrows. Beta male for sure. Well, that was a bit harsh. Seems to be a lot of detail there. All I can surmise is that I'm picking up on femininity. He looks like Jared Leto a little bit to me. Yeah. And he's kind of feminine, very feminine dude. So I'm sure there's a large group of people in this world that know who this man is. Hitman, Department of Justice investigating the company. Could be. But I went down a different rabbit hole today and see if I can drag you guys down that hole for a little bit. But we can definitely, we're going to go down all the rabbit holes. DMart, my guess is her DNA isn't in the system. That I don't know. If he's a protester, I mean, it's possible. A lot of those protester types are pretty wild. You know, nothing serious, but he might have a few priors. Hopefully, if anything, I don't know about his DNA, but maybe a fingerprint, perhaps. DNA doesn't mean much. He's not in a database. Yeah, that's true. Unless they catch him, you know, then they have his DNA, of course. Yeah, he's definitely a man. And I could be wrong. I'm just getting those vibes, you know what I mean? Especially from this, just kind of the way that he's kind of carrying himself. I'm picking up on it. But that is just a snapshot. So, could be nothing. Darkside says fake ID for the room, which he was sharing with two strangers. And who goes in Starbucks and gets water and power bars? Dunno, seems odd. Yeah, I wonder what that was all about. Maybe he thought he was going to be on the run for a couple of hours. You know, kind of like a plan B. Yeah, Kiwi. Yeah, I see that here. Very masculine. He's definitely a man. I can see some stubble, but it's this photo right here. Those are the vibes that I'm picking up there. But when it comes to just a snapshot, you know, you don't want to look too much into it. But that's what my intuition is telling me. Is he a dying man that don't give a fuck? I don't know, maybe. Maybe he has like a life-threatening disease. Maybe he has a family member, a grandmother, or grandfather, mother, father. I'm going to show you some protest videos where they actually shut down a few facilities in Minnesota. And we're going to look in the crowd and see if we can find anybody that matches the description. He has a Bon Jovi smile. I don't know. I think this smile, you can't miss that smile. It's a great smile. Somebody's very upset right now because they know who this is. And they know he's going to prison. Yeah. If it wasn't for this other shot here, yeah, definitely, you might even think it could be a woman. Hiawatha says, I learned today that New York City has facial recognition in their stoplight cameras. IMPD has been trying to get that for a few years. Yeah, there's been a big uproar about it. Julia, the head tilt, flashing that smile, he's intentionally putting on a feminine persona. Maybe he's just gay. Maybe it just comes natural. I believe he's definitely not from New York. Well, what do you make, Dark Side, of the New Jersey? Is that just part of a bigger plan, knowing that your target's going to be in New York? So let's go ahead and make a New Jersey fake ID. Okay, that's interesting. All right, let's jump right in here. So the words that were left on the bullet, very similar to a book here. And I think I found a video here on a review of this book where they discuss it. Delay, deny, and defend. Why insurance companies don't pay claims and what you can do about it. A lot of people are pissed off right now and rooting for this guy. There's people out there right now that are happy. They're happy that somebody is standing up and doing something, which is kind of twisted. We're living in a really dark time. We're pretty much split right down the middle. 50% of you will say, well, they shouldn't be robbing people. But why don't you want them to rob people? Because people are dying. They're not getting the medical help that they need. So they're dying, right? Well, that's what happened to this gentleman, Brian Thompson. He was killed. So if we don't want people dying, it doesn't make sense to be rooting for this guy. Rooting for him is basically the same as rooting for these ruthless insurance companies. They are now the same, right? They're now playing for the same team, the killing team. Dark side, that could be. It could explain the drones. Doing some recon. Yeah, it was really sad. Imagine his wife and his two kids, seeing this. I think there was a bomb threat at his home. Somebody called in a bomb threat to his wife, I believe, either yesterday morning or maybe this afternoon. I just don't get it. Julia, traveling from Florida to Seattle, TSA does this thing where they scan your ID and take your photo at the checkpoint to verify. If he tries to flee, he ain't going far. At least not via plane. Kiwi says that's the sad part, his family, otherwise fuck him. See, we're split down the middle. One wrong, two wrongs don't make a right is where I stand. But you guys are welcome to your own opinions. I get that, I get where you're coming from. So here, let me pull up the maps that I saved here. That way we can get a little bit more of a perspective. Let's go to the 2022 one. It's a little bit clearer. There's witnesses that said the gentleman, the assassin, was kind of standing right here for hours. You had a witness. We're going to watch a video of him. He was sitting in a car right here, somewhere parked along the side, and he says that the killer was standing somewhere over here. He said for hours. He said he went and took care of some business, came back, and the guy was still standing there. And Thompson came. He wasn't staying at the Hilton, but I believe that's where they were having their shindig. And this is right where he was killed. So you had that lady was standing right here in this corner. He was walking on the sidewalk just in front of this planter near these loading signs here. And the killer came walking across the street. So he probably saw him walking down the sidewalk and says, as soon as he passes me, I'm just going to walk up to him. Let's see. I created a little illustration to kind of help. Let's try that. So we're dealing with a very radical individual. Why did the guy sell 33% of his stocks a couple months ago? Why was he getting death threats? Why is DOJ investigating the company? Why is Pelosi's name all over Palo Alto? Yeah, don't get me started with Pelosi. Don't get me started. The healthcare system is the issue, not just that one person responsible. Yeah, I mean they get over on the American people because we allow it. I think people are split also because he makes 10 million a year. Yeah. The company we're talking they're making like 100 billion a year. If not a month. Thompson had security, but they did not accompany him, I heard today. This thing is ripe with conspiracy, guys. All the way down the line. Messages on the bullet might have been on purpose to create the no sympathy we're seeing, and he dropped the burner phone, and not far he ditched the backpack too. Seems like he wants them found. So they found the backpack. I didn't know that they found the gun, the backpack, cell phone. I didn't know any of that. So if you guys have any information on that, send it to me. sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Yeah, it's very sad, Louise. But I guarantee there's some people out there that are asking themselves, their parents, their loved ones, somebody's dying, and the insurance is finding every reason not to pay out, right? Not to pay for surgeries, medications, treatments. And they're all thinking, well, something has to be done. This obviously isn't the way, right? We all know that. Any of us that are sane, we realize that this is not the answer. But at the same time, we all realize that something has to be done. So this is definitely bringing attention to the issue, but I just don't think it's the right attention, the right kind of attention. Hey, what's up, Sparky? Kiwi says, yep. And there's some people that have been wronged. They've been wronged by these insurance companies, and we pay out the ass. We pay too much money. These people get rich, and they don't care about people. That's the problem. So I'm not saying that what this individual did, if that's his motivation, I'm not saying what he did was right. But at the same time, it is bringing attention to this huge problem. Like these people can't make $100 billion a year and refuse to pay out on something like a $600 treatment. That just can't be allowed. and there's nothing to protect folks. I mean, you could get sick tomorrow. You could be diagnosed with cancer, something terminal. Frank says they found a cell phone a couple blocks away. They know is his getaway route. Okay. So this guy's smarter than we think, right? Had to have been a burner phone. I think they found a phone and a water bottle. D-Mart says their profits are unconscionable. Yeah, we're talking $100 billion, guys. Could feed the planet 10 times over. And then again. All right, we'll pull that information up. So 6 a.m. in the morning. So they caught him on his bike here. I think they caught him going into the subway. I might have that one. I may not. I thought I did. No, here it is. And there's something on his hoodie, though. There's like writing on the front. There's white letters. And I'm just hoping it's not one of these hoodies. Let me see if I can pull it up. These protesters here. I think they're called People's Action. So this is where they shut down the United Health building in Minnesota. And they were wearing these hoodies that said People's Action. Black hoodie with white writing. United Health denies care, and it's like a coffin. I think they do. Johnson was going to a meeting with shareholders where Thompson, where he was going to present them with United Healthcare having 450 billion in revenue last year. Jeez. It's a lot of money, guys. I think that they do. So let's go look at that hostel that he was staying at. Let's take a quick look-see. Gee, 450 billion. That's so crazy. It's a lot of money, a lot of power. So he was staying at the American Youth Hostels. See if I can find it. Okay, here it is. This is a cool looking place. And the photos with his mask off they were taken here. Notice the floor? So this is where he was standing right here. I need to take a copy of this. Actually, we can use it. So he was standing right here. And it looks like this camera right here captured him. Can you guys see that? See this in the background right here? Almost looks like a futon or something, but really it's a bench. And you can see it right here. So he must be standing at this counter. So you can see the futon right here. And one of these cameras captured him. Gotcha. Got his ass right there. And then you can also see like one of these little poles, or I don't know what you'd call those, like a post. You can see the base right here. That's probably this back one here. So yeah, he's definitely in the hostel right there. He's in the lobby and they got him on the camera there. I don't know how they tracked him. They must have tracked him with the phone. What's up, Joe Newman? Welcome in. Jennifer Ward. Yeah, he checked in with a fake ID. It was a New Jersey ID. Yeah, that's definitely that lobby squeaky for sure. Yeah, 100% confirmed. Yeah, it looks like it's this camera here. Right there. Or maybe even this one. Either way, that's confirmed that it is the hostel here. So remember, he should have 3 spent shell casings and then 3 that jammed. So I don't know if they jammed or if he wanted them to be found. I couldn't figure that part out. He's doing something weird with the gun. I figure that's his inexperience, and maybe all of the bullets say the same thing on the casing. So maybe before they were fired on each one of the cartridges, he wrote that deny, defend, and depose. So it's definitely a signature. Yeah, that hostel looks amazing. Okay, 6:44 a.m. The victim is walking alone towards the New York Hilton. So he was staying at a hotel across the street. And he came around the corner like this. And the guy was across the street. And as soon as he passed by him, he walked across the street and killed him. Shooter then runs to an alleyway between 54th Street and 55th Street. Once at West 55th Street, the shooter continues to walk on 6th Avenue where he gets onto an electric bike. So he had this elaborate plan. Shooter rides north on 6th Avenue towards Central Park. At 6:48 a.m., the shooter rides the bike into Center Drive. So he knew he was going to be there, and he was extremely patient. According to witnesses, this dude was waiting for hours, just sitting on the same corner. And then as soon as his target came, took him out and then left some weird shit at the scene. Like, I mean, we are talking about a savage individual or a highly motivated person here. They only released those, Squeaky Will, because that's the only time that he even took off his mask. The entire time he was staying there, he had his face covered. Is what I read earlier today. What's up, Cindy? Copper says he seems pretty sophisticated and slick to pull off everything with fake ID, silencer, or sound suppression on a gun. Yeah, I don't think he did this alone. That's why I think he might be part of that group. And we're going to go down that rabbit hole in a little bit. Well, there's a video here. Let's take a look at this video. He's walking with somebody. Right? Don't they look like they're walking together? And he's on the phone. Who's he talking to? He's obviously not working alone. You know, somebody helped him get the ID, somebody helped him with the planning, and somebody's helping him get away, and somebody is helping to push him. You know, we're talking about a very radical individual. But who is this gentleman keeping up with his pace, walking just behind him? Is this just some random dude or what? Or is this somebody that he met at the hostel? I just feel like they're too close. If that was me, I'd be like, dude, why are you walking so fucking close to me, man? Yeah, he was on a mission. All right, let's listen to these witnesses.
I hear the 3 shots. I was parking down there in the car. I hear 3 shots. Yeah, and then when I looked, there's a man down. Yeah. Yeah, and then the guy crossed around. He's a white male, all in black, with a backpack. He crossed this way. That ought to see. And then I called 911. But yeah, maybe someone else already called. But the guy, he was here in this corner the whole night. Yeah.
Who was on the corner?
The guy who shot the guy.
Was standing across the street?
The driver told me he was hanging around whole night.
Okay, so did you hear what he said?
But yeah, maybe someone else already called. But the guy, and then I called 911. But yeah, maybe someone else already called. But the guy, he was here in this corner the whole night. Yeah.
Who was on the corner?
The guy who shot the guy.
was standing across the street?
The driver told me he was hanging around whole night waiting for the guy, the shooter, and he just inside the car waiting for him. Soon he see him, he just shot him. That's all I know.
I hear the 3 shots.
So yeah, he was waiting very patiently. So definitely wasn't random. I mean, I think it's safe to say that, right? That's the consensus, that it wasn't random, that he was targeting this Thompson guy specifically. And the signature that he left at the crime scene is pretty much giving away his motive, right? It has to do with the insurance company. Highly motivated. For what reason, though? Okay, let's look at this People's Action Group. I thought I had a couple video. Oh yeah, here's this one. I have 2 of them.
We are health professionals, workers, retirees, health justice activists, and all of us are patients. We are here today in your lobby because everyone should have access to quality health care, regardless of their race.
So this is them in Minnesota shutting down Brian's actual company. They shut down the entire street.
Gender or where they live. Hot off the press from this morning, United Health reported a revenue of $99.8 billion for the first quarter of 2024.
99 billion in the first quarter, guys. Now you don't make that much money, doing things the legal way.
I'm here to show solidarity because I suffer from being covered by my health care and inadequate health care, just like the folks here in Minnesota are, and every state across the nation. And we have traveled from all over today to come out here and share the message that we need to put people over profit. Healthcare is a human right, and we're not going to take it anymore. We're here to fight.
So are we looking at a member of this group here? People's Action, perhaps? He was wearing that black hoodie with white writing on it. So I'm wondering if that's maybe a clue that they have. Yeah, they appear to be together, D. But you guys can go back, screenshot that video or whatever and try to figure it out. But I mean, they look like they're together. Yeah, that's a good point. CJ says he probably thought no one would find him at the hostel, hiding in plain sight. But the thing is with him keeping his face covered and not destroying that phone, they were able to determine where he was. You know what I mean? Unless somebody called in after they saw the images of him, they're like, hey, that guy was staying at the hostel. Yeah, I think he has help. That guy is either an insider or knows an insider. He knew the CEO's schedule. Yeah, he knew he was going to be there. This is a very sophisticated, well thought out plan. The only thing that I see any failure at is just the proficiency of handling the firearm. And even then, it could appear that way because he's trying to leave those cartridges in a certain area. He wants to make sure that they're found. So maybe it just appeared that he was struggling with the weapon. In all reality, it was just part of his plan.
What is our goal of being here today? Well, that's simple. Our goal is to demand action and accountability. We are here to demand that your unscrupulous practices of denying medications and care to patients you serve ends now.
See, these guys are pissed. And I don't know if anybody in this crowd looks familiar or not.
Demand United Health Group take the following steps to remedy this situation. Execute a publicly shared audit and reimburse the federal and state governments for the public money they diverted by claim and prior authorization denials within Medicaid and Medicare Advantage.
This isn't right.
What's up, Jimmy?
This is not health care. It's killing people. It's putting them in situations where their health is becoming worse, and we have to stop it. It's all because of profit and greed, and it has to end.
Yeah, see, these people are pissed. I'm wondering if he's part of this group, and together they came up with this plan. Like, we need to be more active. This protesting isn't getting it done. We need to shake things up. We need to take out the CEO, and then they'll listen to us. Because as fucked up as it is, that's true. I mean, people are going to start listening. There's a million eyeballs on the situation. I hate to say it, but their plan worked. As diabolical as it is, I mean, so far it is working. I mean, here we are. We're talking about this.
I'm sick of losing my friends. I've spent the last year begging you for a $600 infusion to treat the most painful disease known to modern medicine, CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome, the suicide disease. Let me tell you, a year ago while United Healthcare was celebrating over $8 billion in first quarter profits, I was selling the last of my belongings that had any value. Now I'm standing in your lobby. Do you hear me now? I don't want to die.
We killed your CEO. Are you listening now? Black shirt, white writing.
Do you hear me, United Healthcare? Your greed makes us sick. Your greed makes us sick. Who said all you all our people? Who said all you all? We are people side. We have a set of demands for United Healthcare Group we have shared. So far, they have not been listening to us. So we are also calling on our elected officials. If United Healthcare Group and other insurers won't make these changes voluntarily, it is up to our elected officials to protect us.
Okay, now what happens if your elected officials do not protect them? Then they got to take more action, right? So I think it's possible that the killer is in this crowd here. I don't know. You got somebody back here that kind of fits the description. So I think if you guys have any spare time, probably go through some of these photographs, maybe their Facebook groups, see if you can find that guy. Call it a hunch.
From the corporate communications director for the healthcare group, the parent company for all of these companies, this whole complex, to be in touch with us within 5 days to set up a meeting.
We found Jimmy.
To hear our stories.
If nothing else, we found Jimmy Hoffa.
The situation where a private company
You found him.
makes money off of our health can make the decisions about what kind of care we get is an injustice, and we need to bring that message clearly to United, clearly to elected officials who can make decisions about the laws governing these companies, and to the public to help people know that the harm that they're experiencing at the hands of these companies is not their fault.
So I'm wondering if that's what we're dealing with is an activist who is extremely radical, taking radical steps. And what do you guys make of the silencer? Do you think he got impatient? Like, why have a silencer if you're just going to walk out right in the middle of everybody, the middle of the street, and just start bucking off shots? What's the point of even having a silencer? Unless it's for yourself. Did he get impatient? Has he been stalking this guy, for a few days, maybe? I just can't make sense of the silencer there. It's not like he tried to hide it. High Wealth says, not sure if anybody answered, but I seen an interview with the two other people sharing the room with him. Two young women from UK, scared to death. Jeez. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that I couldn't find. I've just been really busy today. I spent most of the day preparing for the interview with Drew Collins. Oh, here's another People's Action video.
Welcome, 2024 Strategy Summit!
Gonna mute that.
You all this weekend, the intention that I have for myself is to really soak up the hopefulness and the energy from being in this space with you all. I need every single one of us, every one of our power organizations back home, and even more than that's in this room, doing that, bringing more and more.
I'm looking for that very specific nose.
Of like visioning and dreaming, we get clearer on our North Star and we bring more people into it with us. And we get fuel and hope for the work that we have ahead of us.
It is more critical than ever that we are grounded in what's at stake and have a vision and a plan for how to get there.
This plan is an awesome plan, an awesome strategy. You need to take it to your state and your city and push it. Like,
What about the guy in the back there? See him? With the cup? Let me take a screenshot real quick. Kind of looks like that guy a little bit. I have to come back to that.
to your state and your city and push it. Like push Buffalo, push it. Because these young people in their 30s and 40s are going to be the next legislators. And you don't want no
Yeah, we'll have to come back to that. Maybe just shaved his beard. He has the same type of nose. Maybe they'll show him again. What's up, Fight for Justice? Spaceman? Kind of has the same face shape, too. I don't know. We'll have to revisit that. Very similar. Very, very similar. All right, we'll play a couple more videos. Then we'll have a quick conversation about it. This is John Walsh talking about it on Fox today. Shout out to John Walsh.
This guy's a really good pro, because if they're really good, you don't know they're a pro. This guy.
He's saying from his experience looking at professional hitmen, he doesn't believe that this is a professional hitman, that he believes that this has to do with the insurance companies.
Really good pro, because if they're really good, you don't know they're a pro. This guy made a lot of mistakes. I made some notes here for myself. You know, he was wearing sunglasses. A real pro wouldn't have had, I mean, he wasn't wearing sunglasses. A real pro would have been wearing sunglasses so that they couldn't get him with facial recognition. He had a half-ass gun. He probably learned how to build it on, you know, on YouTube or something like that. I think he was smart. I think I heard you say earlier today, you thought someone may have paid him. But I think about the stock deal, and I think the trouble that the company got into. You never know
Hey, little
when
one.
people are hurt. And this company hurt a lot of doctors, couldn't get their money. There are a lot of patients that had to wait a long, long time to get their bills paid.
Yeah, he's the man.
So it may be somebody out of control whose grandmother died because they couldn't get the right doctor, they couldn't get the right help. But the guy's not the guy. I don't think he's a pro. Yeah, I mean, I know you do, but
no, I mean, I don't know any more than anybody on the street knows, but you know more than most people, and you're probably right. The more that I think about it, I think you're onto something with the motive.
A really good pro.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think the motive is obvious now. It has to do with the insurance company for sure.
A little deeper now and go to CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman in New York. Ricky, you know the NYPD, and I've got to ask you about the words that were written on those shell casings. Deny, defend, depose. Listen, if that doesn't speak to motive, I don't know what does. But it also makes me think that this killer knows that police will figure out his identity. What's your read on that?
Let's go to these comments real quick. Jennifer says it was targeted and planned, but he is not a professional hitman. I agree with that. So I don't know if there's some sarcasm in there or not, but I think that that's accurate. A professional hitman isn't going to leave a signature at the crime scene. He's there because he's getting paid big bucks, and he's there to get in and get out. Right? All it would take was one shot to the back of the head, and then he's off. He's off the scene. Nobody would find a phone. Nobody would find anything, Not even a fake ID. They wouldn't find him staying at a hostel. They wouldn't find anything. A professional is not going to do that. This is somebody that was trying to make a statement, right? They left a signature. They did it in broad daylight. It's almost like they want you to know. Almost as if part of them feels like they might get caught. And when they do, they'll be a martyr.
Well, it certainly does speak to motive. There can be no doubt about it, especially if you compare those words to the book that was published in 2010 about insurance companies that deny claims. And that book was called Delay, Deny, Defend. So you have one switch of one word, but two of the other words. You also have to remember that there have been protests at the headquarters in Minnesota by people who feel that United Healthcare has not been good to them about their claims and has denied coverage. So is he one of those people? Does he want to be caught? Does he want to go down in infamy? That is always a possibility. Or is...
I feel like there's part of this that he does. He has a feeling that if he does get caught, that it's okay because he will become famous for his cause.
Is he one of those people who likes to tease the police and say, catch me if you can? The NYPD...
we've protested in front of the companies. We've begged our representatives in the government to fix this problem. It's not working. We have to go to extreme measures. And they found their man who was willing to do it and the group of people to get the job done. And they did it successfully, and it's bringing attention just as that's what was desired. That was the goal. So I feel like this is some kind of a protest.
Does not like to be teased. And the NYPD, with all of the faith that I have in them, in addition to the fact that their new commissioner, Jessica Tisch, when she was there in an earlier capacity, she was head of technology. So not only does she understand how it works, she's at the forefront of technology, and facial recognition is one of her things. So I do think that this crime is going to be solved, plus the fact at the moment, you have a modest reward. Certainly, United Healthcare could come up with a big reward if they don't get sufficient tips to the police very soon. And there always are people who might just come forward because they're good citizens, but there are some people who will come forward because they know that there's money at the end of their coming forward.
Right. And we're starting to see
Let's go to Cindy's comment. It's very interesting because, yeah, if this has something to do with the higher ups, you know, there's this whole conspiracy with the Democratic Party and Pelosi and insider trading. And then also there was the ransomware hit that cost that company, I think it was like 22 million. They paid this ransom, was the ransom they paid. But on top of that, just to prove that the ransomware was efficient, they stole millions of, I think it was social security numbers. And they were threatening to steal the rest if they weren't paid like $22 million. So they had to pay it. So I'm sure that these hackers who were able to gain access found a lot of secrets there that were buried. And maybe some big people would have gone down if this guy would have been killed, you know? Because if he gets arrested for insider trading or having some type of knowledge of a conspiracy, you know, that's how you nip it in the bud. Because if he gets busted, he's going to talk, right? He's not going to prison. So they may have just Epsteined him.
As you and I talked about yesterday, the surveillance video and especially that up-close shot of him without his mask.
What's up,
what
Scott?
are police going to look for in that mask and then also in the information left behind at the Starbucks that figures into this story?
Well, they're looking for DNA. One of the things we know actually
Trying to make it
from
look like an
watching
activist when it's not.
fictional television series that deal a great deal with forensics, let alone true crime documentaries that we see presented on
What? True
cable,
crime?
presented on networks, also presented on places like Paramount Plus, where you can look through facial recognition and it can go spinning through jillions of faces until they find a match.
Fight for justice.
In addition to that, we're looking at DNA. If they can find DNA on those shell casings, on those bullets, inside the room, let alone if they locate the mask, we know they picked up a cell phone. If it is his cell
Me too,
phone,
Jennifer.
they have all kinds of leads here. People who say,
Simple man.
well, they haven't found him in 24 hours, so he must just be gone. It doesn't matter if he's gone. They will find him.
They will find
Ricky
you.
Kleeman, a family planning a...
If you run, I will find you. That reminds me of Wedding Crashers. All right, let me see what else I had. So what do you guys think about this character right here? You think we're on to something with this? Let me pull this back up. Because I don't think it'll be hard to find this gentleman. They got like all these Facebook groups and stuff. Kind of looks like him if you shave that beard. I'll have to look into this more off air, and then if I find anything of interest, I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. KC Dutton. Is that from Yellowstone? Okay, here's a video that was sent out to Brian Thompson's company at United Healthcare after he passed away.
Colleagues, I'm deeply saddened to tell you that earlier this morning,
Volume's really low.
our friend and colleague Brian Thompson was killed just outside our investor conference hotel in New York. There are no words to describe how so many of us are feeling right now. Brian was a truly extraordinary person who touched the lives of countless people throughout our organization and far beyond. It's a terrible tragedy, and I know we are in shock and disbelief. Our hearts are with his family, especially his mom, his wife Paulie, his brother, and his 2 boys who lost their father today. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and be assured we'll be there for them. I hope you will now all do the same for one another.
Crazy. Lisa says, "Are other CEOs sweating it or just healthcare?" It's got to be just healthcare, I'm sure. Brian Thompson. Oh, I did grab a few articles here. Let's read this one. This one's from Metro. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was facing DOJ probe. When he was killed in targeted New York City attack. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was one of several senior executives at the company under investigation by the DOJ, the Department of Justice, when he was gunned down, right? Maybe to shut him up, keep him quiet. When he was gunned down outside a Manhattan hotel on Wednesday. Thompson, who was killed in what police called a targeted shooting outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown, exercised stock options and sold shares worth $15.1 million on February 16, less than 2 weeks before news of the federal antitrust probe went public. So that's insider trading. That's some Pelosi shit right there. According to Crane's New York business report from April, the stock price dropped sharply after the revelation that the DOJ was investigating whether the company had made acquisitions that consolidated its market position in violation of antitrust laws. A source familiar with the probe told the outlet. Thompson's stock options reportedly had several years until expiration, and the sale of the shares was his first since assuming the helm of parent company United Health's insurance division in 2021. That's very suspicious. Could be a coincidence. Thompson, 50, along with United Health Group chairman Stephen Helmsley, chief people officer Aaron McSweeney, and chief accounting officer Tom Roos, sold a combined 101 million in shares, with Helmsley personally netting just shy of 85 million. Damn, that's a lot of money. Charles Elson, founding director of the Weinberg Center of Corporate Governance at the University of Delaware, told Cranes that share sales by firm principals are typically scrutinized by a company's general counsel, who can determine whether any additional disclosures to the market may be required before the trades are executed. Earlier this year, United Health was hit by one of the largest healthcare data breaches in U.S. history. So this is the ransomware I'm talking about. The company estimated that as many as 1/3 of Americans' private data, 1/3, potentially including social security numbers, were compromised in the ransomware attack. See, I remember this. This was big news. The company wound up paying the hackers $22 million right there. CEO Andrew Whitty told the congressional panel in May, the massive firm with an annual revenue of $372 billion later said it estimated its financial cost as a result of the hack to be around $705 million. Chump change for these guys. Yep, I'm getting out of the podcasting business, guys. I'm going to go take advantage of dying people. Let's see. I thought I had something else. I think that might be it. All right, let's go to the chat for another, 10 minutes. And then I got to get out of here. But yeah, we should try to possibly identify this character here. I mean, that's a pretty close match if you shave that beard. And then also this subway video, he's wearing a black shirt with white writing. So I wonder if that's what it is. The group is called People's Action, and they wear black with white lettering. So we'll take one more look at the subway. You guys decide. So looks like right here you can see some white writing, unless that's the strap. Yeah, that might just be the strap to the backpack. I don't know. Right here, it kind of looks like it goes across this way. Oh, Jennifer's a suspect. Jennifer's like, that's my hoodie. Yeah, you guys think you can find that backpack? It's pretty nice. Looks like his nose kind of bends a little bit to his left. What the hell's a Thule backpack? Hey, is it Marcia or Marcia? Welcome aboard. Welcome. Welcome to the Sleuth Crew. Hey, Lisa. Let me see if I can pull that up. Thule. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Oh, yeah, you might be right. Yeah, it is kind of weird like this. Let me pull it up here. It definitely has like that flap that kind of comes over. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe they can track the seller of that bag. Google Lens found it quickly. Yeah, so I'm going to try to find the bag and then identify the gentleman that we found in that video. Who knows? I mean, it looks a lot like him. And that's the profile that I have so far. One of these advocates, these protesters, maybe even a member of that group, somebody that's become very radicalized, you know. These guys are protesting hardcore. They're very passionate about it. They're showing up at the company. They're pleading with their officials, their government officials. They're getting no, there's no action, you know. They're not getting anything done that way. So how do you get things done? You got to step it up. And into a radical person's mind, stepping it up might be taking the life of a CEO, leaving a strange signature at the scene the morning before a healthcare summit that's discussing profits. But Cindy was right. It could be just an Epstein type situation, and they're making it appear that way. You know, it could have to do with the insider trading and nothing to do with these protesters or these radicals. Yeah, because if you send in a professional and he just goes inside the guy's home and, you know, double taps him, gets out of there without being seen or ever noticed, people are going to say right away, like, hey, this has to do with the insider trading. But if you leave a signature and you make it look kind of awkward, you know, you could be staging the crime scene to mislead investigators. I doubt that. I feel like this is more of a situation where we're dealing with a radicalized individual. The fabric toll, what's that? You're welcome. We're glad to have you in here. Peak Design backpack. The hell's that? Peak Design. Oh yeah, now you're talking. Yeah, it does kind of look like this. Let me pull it back up for you guys. It seems to have the leather and everything. Yeah, I think we found it. I think we got it. Peak Design. I think you hit it right on the head, Jennifer. And I don't know if this is part of the backpack or something that he added on there, but I'm not seeing that here. But it definitely looks like this bag right here. Look, it even has like the little leather strap on the side. up on the top, the pocket, and then the tuft. Seems to be some kind of black markings here, though. But he could have added those on himself. But yeah, that looks really close. It's got the side pocket. This one has like a brown, more of a brown leather strap. But look here, you can still see this one here. And then the leather one on top. And then kind of this area right here, you can tell maybe if you kind of wore in the backpack a little bit, broke it in, it might start to kind of look like that. Where it's kind of tufted. Thanks, Sparky. Yeah, I think you got it, Jennifer. Peak Design. I think that's the one. So if you guys want to try to debunk that, I think that's a direct hit right there. That's a $300 bag. So I don't think a hitman is going to take his $300 bag and just dump it when you could use anything. You could use a plastic bag. So I believe this is a personal bag to this person, and they really didn't think about it too much. Oh, here it is. This one looks more accurate. So here's another Peak Design that actually has the folding part instead of the tuft. Same zipper, same pocket, leather strap on the side, leather strap on the top, same color. This one is called the Peak Design Everyday 20-liter backpack, ash gray. It looks like a cameraman's backpack. See what happens when I click on this. Maybe we can get a better look at it. I don't know. I think that's it. Have a good one, Hiawatha. Peak Design. Yep, that's it for sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure. That's the closest I've seen. Peak Design. So I'll do my best to debunk it. And when we cover this again, I'll let you guys know what I find. But don't forget, next Wednesday, we're going to have the Maura Murray case expert, Chandler, back on. And we're going to talk about Delphi and the Maura Murray case. That'll be Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. Cindy says, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that there were two people trying to dress the same. Unlikely, but possible. He was working with somebody. I don't know if there was somebody working with him there, but whoever helped him with the planning, and you could be right, but I'm saying what I was talking about was somebody helping him with the planning, the financing, coming up with these fake IDs and where to stay, how to track the target, where to find him, things like that. I think he had help. Are you sure about that, Spaceman? Let me see. I could have swore he had it on his back, but I don't know if this is an image of him leaving the scene or not. Oh, but this is a good image of the backpack. But yeah, when he's leaving on the bike, he's wearing it. See? And I don't see somebody bringing a $300 backpack and then just to abandon it or burn it or, or leave it. I just don't see that. What's the point of that? This is somebody who had a good plan. They got their target, but they didn't cross the T's and dot the I's. Yep, Jeanette, that's right. Welcome in, by the way. It was either yesterday or this morning she got a bomb threat. Yeah, $300 bag. Yeah, that's definitely belongs to the guy, right? So if anybody out there recognizes this bag, that nose, and that smile, they'll catch him. They'll get this guy. Yeah, you can get one for $10, like a decent bag, that will serve your purpose. Throw an extra pair of clothes in there, throw a water bottle in there, a spare phone, couple power bars that you bought at Starbucks, maybe another disguise or something. Yeah, Lisa, I think that's a good match. It's a good match. Yeah, you might be right, Jennifer. But we'll do a part 2 on this. Maybe tomorrow. This case seems to be evolving. So I think we'll have a lot more information by tomorrow. If there's anything that you want me to add to the live stream, send it to my email address at sleuthintuition@gmail.com. And if you can find the guy with the ponytail and the similar nose and the bushy eyebrows, let me know. Who knows? Maybe we can generate a tip. That'd be great. Yep, I agree with that. All right. All right, guys, that's all my time. I'm going to zip on down to the bottom. Giatti Truth, welcome in. Let's go to just a few more. He was staying at the Marriott across the street. Law enforcement confirmed suspect was there 5 minutes prior, was on his phone right before, obviously knew CEO schedule. Witnesses said that he was, are you talking about the assailant or the victim? Because witnesses said the assailant was sitting at the corner waiting for this guy for hours. Giatti found the phone and bottle of water with smudged fingerprint. Well, that's good news. No backpack or weapon found yet. Keyword Giatti yet. Maybe by tomorrow they'll have his bag, or they'll have the guy. The bike has GPS. That might be how they tracked him into Central Park. Yeah, maybe. It could be political too. Laura says he's definitely not a professional. Yeah, I agree with that. I can't tell what's going on with those sneakers. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks for hanging out. And if you guys are joining as part of the replay crew, leave a comment and we'll get back to you. Let us know what you think about today's live stream and about this crazy New York assassin. I mean, this is a very strange case. You know, part of you is like, oh, well, this is bringing attention to a good cause, but, you know, it's just like fruit of a poison tree, right? If you're trying to fight evil, you can't fight evil with evil. Because if you do that, all you're doing is adding more evil. It just doesn't work that way. But that's the mind. That's why I profiled it as some kind of a radicalized protester, advocate. You know, somebody who came, you know, they knocked on the door. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, hey, you guys are stealing money from us while, you know, patients are dying. You guys need to stop that. And then they started banging on the door like, hey, you guys are killing people. You know, you're robbing us. You're taking our money. You're not helping us, you know, like you should be. That's the whole point of an insurance company, is to help you. And after banging on the door, they start kicking the door in and now they're murdering people. Good night to you, Jeanette. D-Mart, good night. Have a great night. Sparky, good night. Jennifer. Giatti, good to see you in here. Elizabeth. Giatti Truth. I think he was about to turn whistleblower and was taken out. Could be. You know, this has conspiracy theory written all over it. All right, guys, I'll see you again real soon. Enjoy the rest of your nights. The rest of your night, sorry. And I'll see you again real soon. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.